Welcome back to the channel, folks. JD here again with another car finance related tutorial for you. So yesterday when I was making this video originally, I spotted a tiny something that I wasn't quite happy about with the spreadsheet. So everybody who's got a current spreadsheet should have been sent version 4. So version 4, as I was talking about yesterday, just slightly uses a different not a different formula, but a different value, if you like, to base the interest payable on, if you see what I mean. Anyway, so we'll use that today. So this video was suggested by one of my viewers, so thanks very much for that. And they mentioned that we'd done quite a lot of BMWs, and could we look at a Mercedes instead? And they mentioned being interested in a 2019 Mercedes EClass Cabriolet. They didn't say anything else, so apologies for that. So I've just based it on the first 2019 E-Class Cabriolet that came up when I did a search. Okay, and the one that appeared was this, which is an E300 AMG line Cabriolet retailing at 33,423. So what we'll do is we will do the usual setup. We'll crunch the finance, we'll put the finance into the spreadsheet, and then we'll try and get a rough indication of value on that car at, say, the 2-year point and the 3-year point. Okay, so that will be when this car is 3 years old, because it's already a year old. No, actually, I'll tell you what, we'll do year 2 and year 3. Okay, so that's when we've owned it for 1 year and 2 years, because that's more like what I've done on the previous examples. Okay, so let me just explain that again. This car is already a year old, so we're going to get a value after we've owned it for 1 year, so that's when it's 2 years old, and when we've owned it for 2 years, and that's when it's 3 years old, and we'll just see where we're at. Now, the first thing that struck me when I was looking at this, if we go to the finance, we're based on 10,000 miles a year. I am going to do a video soon about mileage, and does mileage, what kind of effect does mileage have on a PCP? You know, is it worth upping your mileage, or is it worth keeping the mileage low, and then if you do run it to the end, paying the mileage penalty? So that's kind of a video which I'm thinking about at the moment. But anyway, we'll base this on a 48-month term. I'm going to sneeze, bear with me. Sorry, I just paused it then while I took a good couple of sneezes. It's hay fever at the moment. So, yeah, so we're going to base this on a 48-month agreement, 10,000 miles. And let's have a look at the finance. Where is the finance? I can't even find where it is. Oh, I know, we have to look at the actual car. Here we go. So, straight away, something strikes me here, and it may do you as well. We have chosen a 48-month agreement, but look what they are saying, 48 monthly payments, which suggests to me this is actually a 49-month agreement. Remember what I said, when you're trying to compare finance agreements, make sure it's the same term. If you ask a dealer for a 48-month PCP, is it 47 equal payments with month 48 being where the final value is, or is it 48 equal payments with month 49 being where the final value is? Because that can obviously affect the overall cost on the agreement. You might think you've got a slightly lower monthly payment, but you might be paying one more than the other one you're comparing it with, if you see what I mean. So this is, yes, they're calling it a 48-month agreement, but it's 48 equal payments and then an optional purchase payment at month 49. Now, the other problem that we've got, look at this, 12.3% APR. That's high. And I would like to think that if anybody was buying a car from Mercedes, that they would try and haggle that down a bit, because that is very high for a used car. But we'll use it anyway. So let's check the spreadsheet. Let's check the new spreadsheet, version 4. So they are saying total cost 33,423 with a deposit in, quite high on this example, 584903. Dealer deposit contribution, nothing. Now, Mercedes often do have promotions, so it's always worth checking. They might have £750 contribution on a used car. They sometimes, I've known in the past, they have offered 0% on a used car, but you've had to put 50% deposit in. So no dealer deposit contribution and a guaranteed future value of 15,425. Starting month we'll say is this month, so June 2020, so the first payment on the spreadsheet will come out in July next month. Quoted APR, so this is what I've changed on the spreadsheet. So they're quoting an APR of 12.3, which is giving us an approximate interest rate of 11.66. This will still slightly be different if you've got a lot of additional charges. Okay, so last night when I put the video out about this new version 4, I did put a link up to my video from a couple of years ago which looked at different interest rate terms. APR includes all the charges. Interest rate doesn't. So now in most agreements, certainly that I've been looking at lately, there's a very tiny extra charge, £10. There's not your £125 acceptance fee and option to purchase fee and all that, because that will increase the APR. In this case, because it's tiny, it's only £10, it's actually giving us 11.657 and they're saying 11.66. So that's good news. Now, number of equal payments. So remember, it's 48 in this case, not 47. 47983. They've got 46778. What have I done wrong again? Because this worked the other day. Have I done something wrong? 47983. Oh, you know why? I think another update's coming to the spreadsheet. I haven't updated it on the other 3 APR tabs. So if anyone's watching this, make sure you use the first APR tab. Let's just put this in again and you'll see that it actually does work. 33423. Deposit 584903. Daily deposit contribution nothing. Guaranteed value 15425. Starting month June 2020 and a quoted APR of 12.3. 48 equal payments. That's better luck. 467.72. Oh, they've got 467.78. We are very close. That's brilliant. Okay, so just be aware that the enter APR second, third and fourth tab don't quite work yet. I forgot to update those. So that's good. So that shows the spreadsheet's working. We've got a total amount payable of 43,724. They've got 43,737. So that obviously is a tiny bit of an interest rate, tiny bit of interest, and also the fact that they've got the £10 that this spreadsheet doesn't really take into account. Okay, so when could we VT out of interest? So we could technically VT after 34 months. Would you want to VT after you've already put in nearly £6,000 deposit? Who knows? But obviously you would if you got into financial difficulty, and that's what voluntary termination is really there for. Okay, so let's have a look. After 12 months, actually what I should say is look at this for a start. So the total cash price of this car is 33,423 and the total amount payable is 43,700 and whatever it was. £10,000 in interest. That's why you've got to make sure you try and get this APR figure down. Okay, so after 12 months, to settle on this agreement, you're going to be roughly 25.5 grand thereabouts, give or take 100 quid. So that car, for us to get out, and I know these are stupid examples in a way, because unlike me, most people wouldn't want to get out of a PCP after 12 months. Certainly not if you'd put £6,000 deposit down as well. But just out of interest, for a bit of fun, let's just see where we're at. So we are 25.5, and after 2 years we are at 22.6. Now that is the killer. Just look, we have paid £467 a month. So what's that times 12? 5.5 grand or something. But because the interest is so high, look how much we've dropped the capital by. From the end of year 1, 25.5, to the end of year 2, 22.6. So we've only dropped the capital by less than 3 grand, and we've paid over 5 to get there. And if you look at the amortization table here, it shows us, look, because the interest is so high, we're actually, certainly for the first 17 months, we are paying more interest per month than we are paying the capital down. Look at that. We're only paying the capital down in the first month, look, less than £200, and we've given them 467. And that's because we are paying, remember this, we are paying 11.66% interest on 15.5 grand that we're probably never going to actually pay off. So that's why we are paying £10,000 in interest on this agreement. So that's interesting to see. So by the end of 2 years, we owe 22.6. So let's see what that car is going to be worth roughly. Now, again, I've said this before, this is only a rough idea. Obviously, we haven't got a crystal ball. It's not as accurate as a cap value. It's just a free valuation that you can get through Parker's. So, you know, it's just a real rough estimate. Let's choose Mercedes-Benz E-Class latest model Cabriolet. And now let's do it for 1 year. So this is going to be, remember, when the car is 2 years old. So we need a quote for a 2018 car. Just curious. And now it doesn't say on the advert, it doesn't say whether this is a premium or a premium plus. So I'm going to assume, and I could be wrong, I mean, it looks quite swanky, doesn't it? Not that I know a lot about Mercedes. I tell you what, let's be fair, let's assume it's a premium. So it's not the kind of the bottom one, it's not the top one. So we're going to choose E300 AMG line premium lot. So it's that one, isn't it? Now, the only problem with Parks, as I've said before, it doesn't give us a Part X value. It only gives us a rough idea of what you would pay for that car to dealer and also on a private sale. So if we were to say the dealer price is, now you're going to pay a little bit more to the main agent, so let's say it's 25. Now you probably might get 22 maybe. So let's put 22 into the old spreadsheet after 12 payments. 22,000. So we are going to be, hang on a minute, is that right? Yeah, June 2021. 3.5 grand in negative equity, roughly. And we've put 5.5 grand in, 5.8 in. And let's just do it after 2 years. So this is going to be when the car is a 2017, which is there. E300 AMG line. What we got? 21.7. So what might you get? It's really difficult to know, isn't it? It's all pie in the sky really, but let's say you might get 19 for it. So that's going to be after 24 payments on the agreement, 19,000. Still the same kind of negative equity lot, because we've got such high interest, because we are not paying a huge amount of capital down in the first few years. It's actually slightly higher using these figures. I'm not saying these are going to be true, but using these figures, we're actually in slightly more negative equity after year 2 than year 3. Because look, even then, look, we're still only dropping the capital by about 240 quid a month. Wow. I tell you what, let's just see what would happen if we didn't put any deposit in. So no deposit, £620 a month. So what's that? 7.5 grand we've paid in the first year. And if we wanted to get out after 2 years, £7,000 in negative equity. I tell you what, just for curiosity, let's put it back to where it was. 5849, what was it? Where's me browser gone? 584903. 584903. Now, let's just look at the difference in capital and interest per month if we can drop the APR slightly. So let's say you manage to haggle 8.9 quoted. See, look at the difference. We've dropped our payment by what, 60 quid a month, and also look, straight away we are paying more capital down than interest. And if we go into, say, month 13 lot, we're paying £232 in capital and only £177 in interest. Does that affect our negative equity? It does slightly, lot. 3.2 and 3.3. So we've dropped our payment. We've saved ourselves £60 a month, and we've also saved ourselves about 300 quid at the settlement figure. Would you get 6.9? Who knows? Let's see. Look, straight away, look, interest 150, and after 12 months, yeah, we've dropped it another 200 or 300 quid. So you can see the difference interest makes, not only on the monthly payment, but what you're going to be owing. Because remember, on a PCP, you're always paying down to a finite value. So you're never going to pay, you're never going to owe less than 15,425. But dropping the interest will not only drop your monthly payment considerably, like we dropped it 100 quid a month nearly by getting to 6.9, but we're also in a slightly better position if we do fall on hard times, or if we do want to change the car early. Okay, so again, thanks very much for watching. As always, please do continue to email me. Oh, where's my hang on a minute, my logo's disappeared. Hang on a minute. There we go, we're back. Do continue to email me here. I can never get this right. I must practice. It's really bizarre. There, somewhere. Do comment and subscribe. I really like to hear from you all the time. Any suggestions for any future videos, I really love to hear from you as well. And do take care, and I will see you next time very soon. Cheers.